Right, we're back. It's been a couple of weeks, boys.
Yes!
Joga Bonito returns. Fraser, you've been on your ventures. Welcome back to the UK. How have you been?
Not bad, man. Not bad. Yeah, it was,
Picked up a bit of an accent in your time away.
Hey, no, it was good. It was good fun. I'm knackered. I've still not recovered.
How long have you been
New
back
York
for?
won, Fraser nil.
You had a good time.
That way. Hey, yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, well, that explains the lack of episodes the last couple of weeks. We did one without Fraser, didn't we, Luke?
Yeah.
You know, but we
Wasn't
missed
the
him.
same though.
We missed him, you know, and we thought perfect time, rest, recharge, watch Scotland play, get the motivation back. Scotland knocked us down a peg again. We're back now.
What do you mean? A lovely 4-0 win away in Liechtenstein. What more
What
can
was
I ask
all?
for?
Yes.
Well, we saw some of the young players bedded into that as well, which was good to see. So we'll come on to some of those players.
Nice segue.
The class is still there.
As people would have seen by the title already.
Yeah.
No spoilers. We're going to be ranking the most exciting young players in Scottish football coming up very soon. But firstly, we're just going to have a little catch up since we last spoke, because there's been a fair bit going on. Fraser, do you want to tell us what is that shirt right behind you on the wall?
What is the shirt? This is our custom made,
Yeah,
bespoke Joma kit. It's not-
Joma reached out to us
Yeah.
and said we want to make the kit.
He
And we
said,
said,
"Are you the Joga Bonito boys?" They
They
said,
did.
"We want a collab. You guys can be the Joma Bonito."
exactly.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw this week. Stranraer announced that their partner. Sorry, this is completely random. Announced that they're sponsored by Adidas are making their kits next year.
All right.
But they announced it as like a global partnership. And it's like your local Sunday league team can get their kits made by Adidas if they want, you know.
They
Like.
received so much pelters for it.
No, I rate that.
So our
Absolutely
new
rate
global
that.
partnership with Joma, yeah.
Yeah. We're now, I don't know, us and Hibs, two leading Joma partners.
Oh.
And also,
He looks down at the
Oh,
Raith Rover
that's-
shirt he's wearing with pride.
we're talking big clubs here, Callum. So Joga Bonito,
Proud to be a wee team.
Yoga Bonito, Hibs, and Raith Rovers. So
Yep.
we got this little template kit from a local
That's a wee number.
dispensary in Hillington, I think it was. And
Shout out to Kevin. Getting that sorted.
yeah, shout out to Kevin Maguire, legend.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we got the badge printed on, and it actually looks it's a bit of class.
It does look nice, sort of Brazil inspired with the yellow and with orange sort of what twist on the black shorts. I thought it looked pretty smart
it
with it
looked
too.
pretty
So
tight. That was for those confused by why we went yellow and our badges white and navy. We were wanting Brazil kits.
Want to go back to our roots.
We wanted to go back to our roots.
Go back to the favelas.
that's the favelas, yeah.
Exactly, inspired by just total football in Rio de Janeiro, and so we went with yellow, and then this was the only option available at
Yeah.
Joma, but it's lovely. I really like it.
So we wore this kit, obviously, for the Salmon's Pizzeria tournament that we've been pretty excited about. There's been a bit on social media. Some sort of people, have caught up and all of that. On the day we turned up in our yellow kits, looking smart. Results on the pitch didn't quite go the way we wanted. We weren't pumped in all the games. We were in them. We got a draw in the first one.
Started well. Well, started terribly in the first 5 minutes, but we rallied against.
You rescued the point for us, son.
I did. Also nearly lost us some points.
Oh yeah. A little fall on the backside.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Everything Scotland boys. Shout out to them. They came out the blocks.
Great guys, yeah.
Fire it. They must have been doing laps, warm up on the other pitch.
We
before.
couldn't get out of the first couple of minutes.
Couldn't, yeah,
Fraser's doing steps overs on the edge of his own box, slips on his arse. We almost concede 1 minute in. Made up for it though. I gave away a daft penalty. We were all over the place.
Yeah,
First couple of minutes.
it was a little bit catastrophic from it. We genuinely couldn't get our foot in the ball for the first few minutes, but when we did, we settled nicely. We scored a wee goal, and I would say one each for the first game was
decent.
fair in the balance. Yeah,
We went into the second game. Hibs Ramble, good guys as well. Big shout out to them as well. They were really nice. Good to meet them. And obviously we had our wee specky friend, the Hearts fan.
Oh, we
Aaron, yeah, he wasn't wearing his spectacles, so maybe that was his Clark Kent sort of disguise. They didn't know who he was.
Nobody realised who he was.
They were being quite nice to him. They were all chatting away, but they were really nice guys as well. We lost that game 1-0. They were a good team though.
they were good.
It was close.
Yeah, I don't think it was their best performance probably, but we were actually there or thereabouts. We had a few chances.
Could have just took a chance somewhere.
But we were just a lapse in concentration. They cut us open, and then that was from then on. It was a couple of tough
games
after that.
against. I'm not too entirely sure who the teams were outside of the tournament context. So fair play to them. They were good teams, and then knockout rounds. We get knocked out. This is gutting. I'm standing there with a couple of the boys from the Everything Scotland team, and as I say, they were lovely and we were all getting on, so it wasn't any bad feelings here. Just trying to like work out all our scores and where we were. 1 minute we're the team going through, next minute they're going through. Then
Word on the street, they were telling us that we were going to be involved. It wasn't to do with goal difference. We'd lost all our games except drawing with them.
They'd have the same.
Versa.
Yeah.
So it was billed as MLS style penalty shootout.
I know.
We were actually quite
they were keen for it as well, but we
it's
weren't
not
allowed to do it.
I don't know where this rumour came from. I think someone just plucked it out of thin air.
Would have been good.
And it was
So,
spreading
look,
like wildfire.
We'll speak to Gogsy. The competition's coming back for next year, so we'll tell them this is our feedback. But otherwise, great event, of course. But unfortunately, we did get knocked out. Same points. We worked out the goal difference. We're like, it's the exact same. 1 goal scored less. Gutting. So, as ever, good defence is punished, which is horrible to see. Our wonderful goalkeeper behind the camera, Jack McLaughlin, producer.
Safe hands Courtois over here. Wow.
Superb. What a team it was. We did our best. We had a good day, though. And then, ultimately, because we were a bit of a formality, we were almost knocked out between us and Everything Scotland. There was nothing real, between us. We joined forces. We united. Fraser, you all called up to the starting lineup for Everything Scotland, scored a couple of brilliant goals. Jack was brilliant in goal. Aaron as well. Put a great shift in. I came off the bench for a minute, ran around.
Cameo.
We won a game. We beat Airdrie. So
I'd just like to say that moment will live with me forever. Tears in my eyes. I had goosebumps walking onto Hampden Park, I think it was.
It was Hampden, aye.
Was it?
No, we didn't play in Hampden.
We didn't.
No.
Oh.
I think it was a San Siro or something. That's still quite cool.
It's still quite
quite a good stadium.
Yeah, the story. It was meant to be Hampden.
Against Airdrie.
Against Airdrie. Playing
Round of
pulled on
16.
the colours of my country.
Unreal.
And I managed to get on the score sheet and I win. Oh my goodness.
A brace as well.
A brace, yeah.
Lovely couple of goals. So, overall, though, unfortunately, that's where the run came to an end in the quarterfinals against a team that made it to the finals in the end. So
Yeah, we were outclassed in that game, but
there
we had our
wasn't
fun.
there wasn't a huge amount in it. I think it went 2-0 and then we got one back to make it 2-1, but obviously I think they ran away with it in the end. Yeah. But they were a good team, so fair play. But a fun day out and a good time, all for a good cause. I think last count they had on social media, it raised over £4,000 for Dementia Scotland. I think that's going to get a little bump up from some of the groups as well. So really good cause. Shout out to the Gogsy, who's obviously a friend of the podcast. He's been on. So
Brilliant work from him.
Unreal. He
He's
was.
done very well to organise it all.
I'm playing as well.
Play,
Yeah, the fact he was playing was. I've never seen someone run around more than him on that day. So did a fantastic job. So I think that's everything we need to catch up on. We often start this up with the latest news, don't we? But I don't think there's too much to cover. There's some signings here and there, but we'll
Few managerial appointments since we've last been on, but
I think we'll touch base on. I think we'll probably do a little thing looking at all the leagues, looking up when the season's getting a little bit closer. But now we are in peak off-season content.
Yes.
yeah,
This is going to be a special sort of type of content where we can just talk about anything we want to.
yeah, exactly.
A bit like how they do the player arrivals and they're like, where did you go on holiday? Like, have you seen that? Like,
I've seen that, yeah.
Where did you go on holiday? I was going to be like, I'm just going to talk about anything you want, and I was just going to turn around and go, where did you go on holiday, Callum? But I felt like that would just change the...
Yeah, well, he's not been on holiday.
That would have been mean, yeah.
Segment.
Where have you been on holiday, Fraser?
Luke's just gagging for someone to ask him where he's been on holiday. That's it. We spoke about Fraser's holiday already.
When have you been at home is the question we should ask.
Yeah.
Like, this man's jet setter. Any holidays planned, Luke, before we move on?
No, a wee trip to Toronto, big man.
There you go. There you go.
I reckon we should get a wee trip to Naples planned.
You want to Toronto yourself?
No,
Where are you heading?
Me and my girlfriend out there, you know.
There you go. There's a girlfriend klaxon to all the all the starry-eyed girls watching. Luke is unfortunately off the market, or fortunately, because she's a lovely girl and she's a big friend of the podcast as well.
I mean, shout out if she's watching out in Canada. Hope you're having a brilliant time.
Yeah.
We're not looking forward to losing Luke for a couple of weeks. What are we going to do? We're going to have
Have him
to
back, Kate. We want him back.
We want him back in one piece. But anyway, so off-season content we're going into. And as I say, at holiday, we need to get to Naples at some point.
We do.
Because we did, this is something we should reveal as well. We did have a sort of not too serious conversation, semi-serious conversation about going to Napoli for their final home game of the season, like a couple months before. Yeah. And it was quite cheap. We could have done it for a couple £100. Yeah. I mean, then we decided it's too much of a risk. They might not even win. Then they won the league, and it looked like the best day ever. So we missed
goal
out.
Stole our idea and did the greatest vlog in modern day
Well,
football history.
next season,
unfortunately.
if the Lewis Ferguson's lining up for them as well, no excuses. Walk it over.
Kevin De Bruyne.
We'll get
Lewis
over.
Ferguson, Scott
Sure.
McTominay,
Oh.
and Billy Gilmore, midfield 4. It'll be will need to be a bit of a diamond, but could work.
Keep the schedule clear in September or something. We'll go over. Right. Watch out. So that's going to be good. Live episode coming from Naples, right?
Hopefully by then as well, we'll not have the budgeting issues. We'll
That's true. Yeah.
sponsored by. Is it Letty? Who is it? Who's the famous sponsor for
Letty,
Napoli?
yeah.
Hopefully they'll jump on.
Any
Our
sponsors
money
watching?
is the like shop provider, so
Aye.
a wee 12.
Maybe Beezer Homes. Maybe even the Ayrshire Post. Who knows?
The extra post funding our trip to Naples. You never know. Right.
Anyone who's willing to sponsor us.
Should we get into the meat of this?
I think we should. Let's do it. shall
So we are going to be revealing the most exciting young players in Scottish football. Now, exciting is quite a loose term, but it's the term we've gone for because we could have went for best, we could have went for highest potential. We've gone for exciting. Now, it's not in terms of exciting as in just technical ability. There might be goalkeepers to come on this list. There might be centre backs to come on this list. But exciting is how good we think they're going to be. Sort of looking ahead for a range of factors. So I'm looking forward to this. I think there's going to be a fair bit of differentiation between us all. But I think there'll be maybe closer to the top. It'll be a bit more similar. So.
Oh yeah, I think there'll be some definite. Though there's a couple of lock-ins there. I think people will not be too surprised with a few. However, I'm sure we'll have some Luke Maguire style balls getting dropped.
Yeah.
Right. Should we start off by revealing our 15 to 11?
Let's do it.
Right. I'll tell you mine. And Luke, once you're done, could you hide your list so I didn't see it by mistake?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right. I'm going to go through first. Okay. So my 15 to 11 is number 15. I've gone for Dylan Wattrip. Oh. United man. Number 14. I've gone for Owen Sturton. Number 13. I've gone for Forrester from Hearts.
Okay.
Well, you tell us your list in a second. Number 12, I've gone for Rudy Molotkanov at Hibs, if that's correct pronunciation. I do hope it is.
Better than your Faisal El Bakhtaoui pronunciation.
I know, I was getting a slag for that. Number 11, I've gone for Finlay Pollock.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
Okay, what's your 15 to 11?
So, 15th, I'm going to go for Gabe Forsyth at Norwich. I've actually heard quite a lot about him and how he's quite exciting.
Just give us the rest of the list, we'll go through these, don't worry.
I actually have, so...
You're a big Gabe Forsyth fan, aren't you?
And then 14th, I'm going to go for Callum McKenna.
Okay.
13th, I'm going to go with Evan Mooney. Number 12, I'm going to go with Fletcher Boyd at Aberdeen. And 11th, I'm going to go with Luke Graham at Dundee.
And Fraser, could you hide the rest of your list, please?
At number 15, I've also gone Dylan Wattrip.
Off number 15 spot for Dylan Wattrip, love that.
Yeah, he's snuck in there. Number 14, I've gone David Watson.
That's quite low.
Number 13, Bobby Wales.
That's quite low.
Number 12, Fletcher Boyd as well. And number 11, Daniel Cummings.
Ooh, yeah, Daniel Cummings, I will reveal, he's not made my list going ahead. So I think good place to start there. Dylan Wattrip, we both got him at number 15. I like how much first team football he's played already and look really comfortable.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you saw Ayr United, he's just modelled Ayr United's away kit and it's a stunner. So he's got in for that as well. But no, a very good player.
Yeah.
Had a better start to the season than end to the season, but that's okay. He's 18, playing for a good manager, Scott Brown, been shown that he can be trusted, and he's got a lot of potential. So yeah, I think he's one to keep an eye on.
Have either of you got Adam Forrester on your list?
No.
Well, this is
Not
what I was
personally.
thinking. I was going through and I wanted Dylan Wattrip on it, and then I was thinking Dylan Wattrip, as good as he's been in and out the Air team at times. I was thinking, would he start for Hearts? No, because he's in and out at Air, and Adam Forrester has been starting for Hearts and has been, I think, really solid. Solid, I think it's fair enough to say. Look, you're sort of.
I'm kind of in disagreement with you there, Callum, to be honest. Like, I kind of feel like he needs a season out on loan at like a championship kind of team.
Championship, yeah.
Like, he's not really. I think he just needs to kind of get that kind of first team experience at a team like a wee bit lower level, because there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders when you are playing for probably the biggest team in Edinburgh. So I've came out and said that.
Absolutely pointless. There was no need for that.
That was pointless.
But like, there's a lot of weight on your shoulders when you are playing for Hearts, and I think he just kind of needs that experience. Maybe even just a season to like sit back on the bench a wee bit and have somebody replace him, kind of have that experienced head, teach him a wee bit. I think that's what he's needing. But I do think he does have potential, but I just don't think
He doesn't excite you.
Well, I was impressed by him. I don't know if he's played centre back as well, I believe, as well at times. Not for Hearts, but like the B team certainly as well. And he doesn't quite have the size, stature to be in there, and he's moved out to right back. And something that really impressed me with him is when he did sort of just get chucked in on the European stage and was really, really solid.
To be fair, I do actually agree with that. He did look good in the European games.
I think at the age of 20, 25 games this season in the Scottish Premiership at the age of 20, I think that gets him on the list. And it was a really direct sort of thing in my head between him and thinking about him and Dylan Watcher, because I'm a huge Dylan Watcher fan as well. I've told you that Fraser first time I saw him play. I was like, I think he's really got something about him. But then if you do have someone starting for Hearts, a couple of years older, obviously, I think he just slips in, not too high on this list at all. I think there was always going to be a lot of movement around the bottom of this list, but that's the reason I've got him in there. So, Callum McKenna, was he on yours as well, Fraser?
Is he not confirmed?
To be confirmed.
Not in my 11 to 15.
Not in your 11 to 15. I didn't put him in mine. I don't know, maybe that's just been a bit non-biased towards goalkeepers.
I think with the state of the Scottish goalkeeping right now, the fact that there's any hope is exciting. So based on that, he may or may not make it on my list.
Yeah,
further down the line.
He's probably my first honourable mention that I could have probably squeezed in. There was a lot of players I wanted in there. So I did see him at Queen's Park when he was obviously broke through. He benched Callum Ferry for a bit of time, which is
that's why I thought it was quite exciting when they got that big move to Bournemouth.
So it's just one of them. It'd be working away, and you see a lot of players move down south and sort of disappear off the radar for a little bit, but obviously I'll be receiving the best coach, I suppose, and wait and see what happens with him. Yeah. So, who do you want to speak about? Gabe Forsyth, number 15?
Yeah, I've just heard a lot about him. I think he's just quite an exciting prospect. I think it was the under 23s at Norwich who was starting to balling out a wee bit.
I think he's made a handful of first team appearances this season for Norwich as well. So, 18 years old.
I've heard good things about him. So.
What's his position?
Midfield.
Yeah, he's centre mid.
Yeah. But I think he's another one of them that was I think he was at Hamilton. He was at Hamilton, as a lot of good young players are, and made the move down to Norwich, and great place to develop as well under the the wing of Kenny McLean.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think it was Jack Wilshere was leading the youth setup at Norwich, and obviously he's moved on.
First team coach.
So would be a great guy to learn from, I'm sure, and one to look out for. And if he's breaking into the first team in the Championship, then that's pretty impressive as well. So who do you want to cover next? Fraser, your 15 was...
My 15 was Dylan Watcher, but
14?
I've stuck in David Watson at 14.
Oh, I'm surprised. Could we come on to David Watson in a bit? Because I have him a fair bit higher. I have a fair bit higher, honestly, and I can see why you maybe put him a bit lower. Yeah. My number 14 was Owen Starton. I think he's a player to really look out for. Dundee United burst on the scene on his debut scoring, I think it was, and went out on loan to Montrose where he's kicked on, and only 18 years old. Dundee United will have quite a busy schedule at the start of the season. You might see him chucked into the first team as well, and I think he's one to look out for. Obviously, Sam Dalby's gone. Well, he's not gone back from Wrexham. He's moved on to Bolton now, hasn't he, Sam Dalby? So there's there's going to be maybe a bit more of an opportunity up front as well for Dundee United, and they want to give him a shot. It might be another loan spell. Maybe a Championship club would take a spin on him as looking at the Raith Rover squad, for example. That I wouldn't be shocked if that's the kind of guy if you're looking for an extra striker, a bit more quality up there, then he'd be someone that Championship clubs might be sniffing about at some point. But I think he's got a lot to offer. 18 scoring bags of goals. So yeah, number 13, Luke. You went for Evan Mooney.
Yeah, I think he's another one that you can be excited about. He broke into the St Mirren squad, I think, when he was 17, and he made his first team debut for St Mirren when he was 17. I think he's just a player he looked at really good goal scoring threat for their under 18s. And I think they won a cup. I think it might have been one of the League Cups or something, but I think he scored the winner in that. And then I'm sure he has actually scored for the first team for St Mirren. I think he scored the winner this season. I've should have done my research, but I know that he has looked good at every time he's kind of played for the Buddies. So yeah.
For the Buddies. No, Luke, 15 players. That's a lot of research to remember. You've done your stuff, Luke. Don't you worry, pal. He's a name I've heard some good stuff about as well. So yeah, obviously breaking into. I think first team football is just so important for almost everyone. We'll probably say on this list. So yeah, good shout there. Fraser, you're 13.
I went Bobby Wales.
Bobby Wales. Another one that I've got him a little bit higher up.
I've done the same.
I'm excited by him. He's obviously got a good move. It was a slightly underwhelming move, I think, to a lot of people, but a good move down south to Swansea. He does look he's looked good for Scotland youth teams. He's had a lot of game time for Kelly this season, but I'm yet to be fully convinced, which is why he's on my list, but not in the upper echelons of it.
I think we can speak about him a bit more because I've got him coming up as well. My number 12, I've gone for Rudy Molokhanov. Is he not on your guys' list? It's fair enough if he's not, to be fair, because he's not made a huge amount of appearances, for him, certainly meaningful ones, I suppose. But what is probably a bit more of a personal one here, when I have seen him play, I'd seen him live for Scotland under 19s. When they're playing at Fourth Bank, and I thought he was one player on the pitch that looked really, really bright, and that was a team London Miller was playing as well, and he was the one that looked really bright and direct. I'd seen him on loan at Stirling Albion as well. He just looked like he had a bit about him, and then I was actually, this is quite lucky, it seems like I'm following him about pretty much at this point, but I saw him play against obviously a much lower opposition, Clydebank in the Cup, but he started for Hibs in that game, looked really bright, scored as well, so I think he's got a bit he's got a bit about him, which is really what you want. He didn't ever look like he didn't want to get on the ball. He was so fearless, just the way he got the ball, took guys on. Technically, looked really sound. So I don't know if it'll be a loan move for him at some point. Probably just needs some first team football, and obviously Hibs are sort of firing on all fronts. Trying to kick on in Europe and everything and up the table. So maybe they won't give him as many opportunities as he needs. Maybe doesn't fit into the system quite as well. Back three if he's a winger, but I think he's someone I really did want to have on this list myself. So number 12,
Fletcher Boyd.
Yeah, I went for Fletcher Boyd.
Are you both Fletcher Boyd?
Yeah, that's a nice coincidence. We both stuck him in it too.
Yeah, I've not got him on mine because I've just not seen as much from him yet. I've heard a lot of good stuff, but
I mean,
why is he on yours?
He burst onto the scene, Mika Richards style.
Yeah.
A couple of goals for Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Strode the winner at Easter Road, I'm sure.
Yeah, not seen him much since, but that he's so young and he can come in and make an impact at Premiership level is exciting. He's a striker. Scotland are in dire need of goal-scoring strikers as well.
He's really young as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's 17 now. Yeah, so
yeah, I like that a lot. He was probably one of my first. I probably I could have had him on. I was switching between my last few, but yeah.
I think in terms of the fact that he's so young, we've seen him playing like senior games, score senior goals. That's exciting enough for me, and he looks a good player. He's good at anticipation, get an eye for goal, so that's why he made it onto my list.
I think the ceiling's very high for him.
Yeah.
And he should kick on big time.
Yeah, making an impact already, definitely. So number 11 on my list, I'm going to presume neither of you have. I think this is probably my bias coming through here. It's Finlay Pollock. Not on your list.
Not quite.
Just signed his new contract at Hearts just before we started recording as well. So good for him to see. Obviously, a lot of personal bias comes in from this, from watching him the entirety of last season. But the main kind of reason I've put him on here is because it was more so how he developed throughout his loan spell. I think that was really telling. You can get players that come in from bigger clubs and, if it doesn't work out, don't kick on much. You don't see them put in the same effort at times, But he's one of those loan players that came in and really embraced it after a bit of a slow start. Changed position under Barry Robson, naturally a winger, put him up front and really started to set the header light at times, and he's really quick, really direct. And I think just that attitude is really telling of a player that he didn't sort of just down tools ever, and if you want to fit into Barry Robson's team as well, you have to work hard and run. And there's lots of good players around that maybe wouldn't do the same thing, but every single player that was starting for Raith would be doing that, or they wouldn't be starting at the end of the day. And he did that, and I think his attitude's fantastic. Unfortunately, picked up quite a bad hamstring injury, but all accounts, hamstring injury is one you can come back from and hopefully wouldn't have long-term effects on his development as well. And if it'll be a year at Hearts, he could be in and around. He's a real impact player. I think he's the kind of player as well that Hearts fans like. I think there's a sort of player that Hearts fans really seem to get excited by.
There's a wee buzz about him that he's still got so much potential.
Because I've been in the pub with a bunch of Hearts fans before, and every single one's just been like, Finlay Pollock, is he that good? Is he this? Is he that? And there's times where I've been, he was getting a bit frustrating at times, end ball and decision making, but he sort of really started adding goals to his game as well. Unfortunately, got injured at a really frustrating time personally for him, I'm sure, but. Even after that, he was back at Starks Park for every game on his crutches, even though he was just a lone player, which is brilliant to see. And good guy. And hopefully, I really do hope he can kick on at Hearts or wherever he's going to be next. I'd take him back at Raith any day. So,
Sorry, can I just a little intermission here? I've received a text from my cousin who's a Kilmarnock fan.
Oh.
I've just received terrible news. He just simply texted me, George Stanger. and I had to.
Is this live breaking news?
This is live breaking news. I am absolutely devastated to announce that Joel Stanger has signed for Kilmarnock.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. This is like
tragic.
This is like Finlay Pollock signing for Dunfermline for you.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
This is like you know when you're watching like the telly and there's like a live breaking news intermission.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Is he what? Stuart Finley's gone. So. Yeah.
So
Has that been announced?
It's I'll show you. Sorry, I know.
Oh well, you've got one and Dick.
Oh dear.
He's smiling. He's got a Kelly scarf around his neck, smiling away.
Fraser, can you keep your motivation for the rest of this episode, please? That is horrible news to break during recording.
And some Ayr United fan was hopeful we'd replace him even better. He's at Kelly. he's in the wind up because he was quality.
I've just seen a video there. I've just seen a comment. No Stranger Things announcement.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, mate.
I'm devastated.
You would have been sat there sulking in the corner if you didn't tell us. So I'm really
needed
sorry
that
to
off
hear
my chest. If he was 21 and under, he's going on my list because what a player.
He's all right.
He's 24.
He's not Scottish, but he's not even Scottish, though, is it?
No, he is. Well, he's Scottish, but he played New Zealand under 23. But sorry for derailing that.
Not to worry.
As I had him in my championship team of the season last season.
Yeah.
I thought he was phenomenal for Ayr. The wheels are coming off our great squad from last season.
You'll
anyway,
be fine. Right, number 11. You've got Luke Graham.
I do, yes.
I don't know why I didn't have him on my list. To be fair, he was one of those.
I thought you'd like this shout, to be fair, Callum.
I thought he was really, really good when I've seen him. Yeah, sort of was a bit in and out of the Falkirk team towards the end of the season.
Yeah, it was weird. Like Falkirk didn't really know what they wanted to do. Like with their like back line, like started like it was like Sean Mackey at left back, and then it was they put Luke Graham at left back, and then Leon McCann, and it was kind of like rotating around them.
Yeah.
But then finally in that last that running.
Well, it seemed like the strongest centre back partnership was Liam Henderson and Cole Donaldson. But then you've got Tom Lang, who's been really impressive at times. But then you've also got Luke Graham, who first half of the season looked like the best centre back in the league at times as well. So
very solid. Yeah.
Back to Dundee now. You reckon he'll kick on in the first team, perhaps?
I think he can actually. Like I think
they thought about it in January, didn't they, when they brought him back? And then
they brought him back. They played him in one game. It was a Dundee derby, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
And they did make a wee error for I think one of the goals, and I think the manager at that point just kind of thought, I don't know, and then he benched him for the next game, and then Falkirk went back in for him and took him back. So
well, I don't know how good Dundee are going to be this season, so the squad's looking a bit ropey at the moment, so there might be opportunities for him at least.
So it is looking a bit thin.
And I think he could do with just being maybe chucked in at the deep end a bit, and I do think he's someone that's got the tools for it. Technically good as well for a centre back.
Oh yeah,
well,
definitely. I think so. I think he was just quite composed on the ball, and that's what you want in a centre half. So
one defender, number 11.
Yeah.
Number 11, Daniel Cummings.
Didn't make my list.
No.
But I was close.
May or may not make Luke's list.
Yeah, may or may not.
But yeah, I had him in. He scored 6 goals this season in the UEFA Youth League. They were all pretty decent poachers finishes. One of them in particular flicked it over the head of the Leipzig defender and then calmly slotted it in. He looks a player, and I think he's confirmed by producer Jack. He's away to West Ham, so
it's a shame for Celtic, isn't it? I mean, just losing players like that, but wasn't getting many opportunities, was he? Then
exactly, but he looks like, again, I think just because Scotland have a bit of a dearth of talent and up front, I get particularly excited when there's goal scoring strikers, and he looks like if he can just get an opportunity in the first team at somewhere, whether it's West Ham or goes on loan to a sort of lower English sort of team, then if he just gets that chance, I'm sure he will score goals. So that's, for me, makes
He's probably getting a bit taxed by me because the whole B team thing is just a bit weird. Like the level.
Look at James Wilson, Finlay Pollock. That's where these guys
there
are.
Started
Yeah,
but the difference between
Lenny Agbear.
The list goes on.
Yeah, but the difference between like playing for a lone league team like that effectively and then going out on loan to a championship club and making a bit of an impact is so different to being a Celtic first team player or whatever as well. And I do agree that doesn't completely take him away from it. Daniel Cummings came on obviously in the Champions League as well. I'd be correct. I'm going to go for a nod from Jack here. He played against Aston Villa as well, didn't he? I remember when he came on, he looked the part, quite strong, like the size of him. He didn't look like he shouldn't be out there, but there's obviously a lot of rawness in his game, as you'd expect for someone that's not played too much first team football. Could have easily made my list as well. I was impressed by him when he played for Celtic B, but I'm like, it's like it was against Caledonian Braves, you know, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, scoring against Bernie White was no easy feat for him, and he did it. But that also means, you know, I don't know, when there's levels to these things, and there are guys like I put Owen starting personally. Maybe Daniel Cummings has a higher ceiling than someone like Owen Stern. I don't know, but I'm more impressed just from what I've seen in a first team sort of capacity. Certainly, I think it's the most important thing for players at that age to be just playing as much football as they can. So I guess that's important for me. Yeah. All right, should we move on to our 10 to 6?
Yes.
That's the next 5, isn't it?
That's
Right, do you want me to go first again?
There you go, mate.
Right, my number 10 is... That was the wrong list. I've got the right list now. Number 10?
What list was that?
Is that your short
When you
one?
like to, yeah, something like that, yeah. Number 10...
A different top 15.
Number 10, Calvin Ramsey. Which might be a bit low because we were briefly discussing before. Number 9, I've gone for Robbie number 8, Bobby Wales. Number 7, Ryan One. And number 6, I've gone for David Watson. It's a fair bit higher than you.
Yeah. We're beginning to merge a little bit now.
Yeah.
Luke, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. So number 9, I've got Bobby Wales.
You've missed one.
Oh, sorry. Let me start. Number 10, I've got Macaulay Tate. Number 9, I've got Bobby Wales. Number 8, I've got Daniel Cummins. Number 7, I've got Bailey Rice. Number 6, I've got James Wilson.
Ooh, okay.
Oh no, I've just realised in rejigging my list I've cut a player from, so that's okay, I can fix that. At number 10 I've got Callum McKenna.
Yep.
Number 9 Rory Wilson.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
forgot him.
Number 8 Tyler Fletcher. Number 7 Ryan One. And number 6 Aidan Borland.
Okay, so we've all gone a little bit different.
Yeah.
At times, yeah.
I've dipped into sort of English Premier League youth players, but there's some real talent in that list I think we'll see in the Scotland team in a few years' time. So
Yeah.
that's why I've gone down that route.
I feel like you've gone for some higher ceilings here, maybe than...
Yeah, which for me is excitement. That's where I get my excitement.
Yeah, of course, yeah. This is what I like about it. It's sort of defined in different ways. I really like to see young players playing first team football, whilst you've got guys that it probably is for the best development, you know, like that they do these things. So, and obviously this is all under 22 as well. I think we said that at the start. But I was going to say a player that I could look at is someone like a Kieran Bowie, for example, that if we did this a couple of years ago when he was like in the Fulham youth system, I would have on my list 100% just because I know who he is completely from his time at Raith. A lot of these guys, you know, it's difficult to know too much about them when you've not seen, because no one else would have had Kieran Bowie on their list a couple of years ago, for example. But some good names on there. So my number 10, Calvin Ramsey, who, did either of you say him yet?
Not yet.
So I presume we'll come on and we'll discuss about it. I've put him a lot lower than you guys, so I think that's going to be a bit of an interesting one, but we'll come back to him a little bit. Luke, number 10, Macaulay Tate, you're the only one to put him on there?
Yeah, I like Macaulay Tate. I actually thought he looked quite interesting when he was like actually in the Hearts first team, and then he went on loan to Livy the second half of the season, and I think he didn't need that, just kind of that loan spell to learn under David Martindale, and like barring that own goal he did score on the final day, I think it was quite an exciting prospect in that Livy midfield, and I think he can kick on from that loan spell and maybe actually challenge for first team minutes.
I thought it was really good at Livy when I did see him play. There's a lot there, so I'm actually kind of surprised he's that young still as well.
Yeah,
but,
was it 19?
Something like that.
He's 19.
Yeah. So I think really good shout in there as well. To be fair,
Tidy player.
Could have made my list. He was one I was looking at. So your number 9, number 10.
Sorry,
number 10. Sorry.
To be fair,
I've done you. Yeah.
Callum McKenna.
Callum McKenna. So
we've
we've covered
discussed
him,
but
yeah.
Really exciting. Anyone that can come in, make an impact like he did at Queen's Park at that age in the Championship, and then he's been called up. I know there's a reason why he was called up by Steve Clark, but he was called up. There was other goalkeepers it could have been. So he's been in amongst the first team at the Scotland setup. He's playing at a good level at Bournemouth, and hopefully if he breaks through in 4 or 5 years' time, he'll be, you know, a really big prospect for Scotland. So
when I did see him play, he just looked like he had, I think he was 16.
He was 16 when he made his debut against East Fife.
And I'd seen him play against Raith as well, and like he just looked like he had the size. He just looked really assured at the age of 16, which is just tells you a lot. So I had a good shout on there as well. Like if goalkeepers excite me a bit more. By the way, if I was like a 13-year-old kid living in Scotland anyway, I'd be off buying a pair of goalkeeper gloves. But this is my opportunity, by the way. In 10 years, I'm going to be Scotland's next number one.
If you're over 6 foot, you've got long arms, and you've got nothing else to do with yourself as a 12-year-old, Go and get some goalie goals.
Lists of
Project Trade Northern.
It's like a list of players that make young kids in Scotland dream that they could be a Scotland international, like John McGinn, Scott McTominay, and Kieran Slicker, all for different reasons. Right, number 9 on my list. Who did you go for, Fraser? Number 9, sorry. I forgot you
My
went
phone keeps going off. Sorry. Rory Wilson.
for. Rory Wilson, yeah. Because I went for Robbie Euro mine. Is he? Did you have him in yours, or has he not came up yet?
Nah, he's not.
Not on your list
mine,
at all.
nah.
Well,
I've not seen him play.
I'll start off with him. Well, he was one. I saw him play a fair bit at Rangers B, and this is another one where you've got this B team thing in the Lowland League where he scored bags of goals, and I'm just surprised Rangers didn't give him a shot similar to Daniel Cummings. There's not been too many young strikers that really get chucked in there for the old firm teams. Really is there. It's quite a rarity, especially Scottish strikers as well.
Like they're established and.
Which is needed, but it's difficult for these guys. So he made his move out to Anderlecht and he's done well for the B team, playing in the second tier, scored a lot of goals, and maybe wouldn't have made this list if he then hadn't made the switch to Sweden, which he's done, and he seems to have kicked on really well. Still 21 years old, and I think there was just bags of potential and excitement about him. And now he is 21. You're getting to a point where you need to be playing, and he's gone off and he is playing. To be fair, so
I had to look at his record last year actually. I think it was like 12 appearances and 5 goals. For Anderlecht.
Okay, for the B team, yeah.
The B team. So.
Yeah, well, he scored a lot of goals there, but like I think he was playing like Kasper Dolberg. I think was there at that time, was he not? Might be testing. But like also like you're not gonna go in there and start over Anderlecht strikers, whoever it's going to be realistically, because they're a Champions League club, and pushing at the top. So it was a tough move, but I like him going out to Sweden. I like him playing, and I don't think it's worth giving up on all that ability. He's got number 9. You went for.
Rory
Wilson.
Another ex-Rangers striker. Different career path though, but he's just recently signed a new contract at Villa.
Mm-hmm.
He's highly sought or thought of, and I've been waiting. We've been aware of him now for a few years. He's been scoring bags of goals for Rangers, bags of goals for Villa's youth teams, and when we're struggling, we're calling up George Hurst and things.
George Hurst's agenda's never going to end, is it?
I know, so I do have a bit of an agenda, but like Rory Wilson looks physically able. He's got an eye for goal, will score goals, I think, and he's playing for a strong Villa youth team. So I'm excited. He's 19 now though. You would think that if he's going to make it, he's going to need to make it soon. So hopefully, either now that he's got his contract extension at Villa, if they really believe in him, maybe they'll let him go out, cut his teeth somewhere, and get some first team minutes, or even just if Ollie Watkins goes, I'm starting first game of the season.
That's a fair bit.
They wouldn't, but they wouldn't have signed him on a 2-year contract extension. I think he's got an option for a third, for no reason. So very good player, high ceiling.
Yeah.
So that's why he's.
They'll be looking after him there as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. So Luke, number 9, you had Bobby Wales.
I did, yeah. I wasn't actually sure. I was actually between him and David Watson for that 9th place, because I think they're 2 players that have been exciting at Kelly the past year.
Have you got David Watson on your list?
Actually.
So he was a close call for 9, but he can't make 15.
Nah, I wasn't. That's the thing. I wasn't sure. For 10.
That's a Luke Maguire shout.
But
it's 9 or nothing. Kelly players, yeah.
But I liked Bobby Wales. I think he was a good prospect to come on up.
He's my number 8 as well. So we'll sort of we'll merge those two.
So.
Yeah, I mean he's only 19 as well, and had a lot of responsibility put on this season as well, and I do like him. Swansea move, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Is he going to be straight into the first team? He's probably good enough, but will he then be like a James Scott sort of type, making the move down and not kicking on as much? I think another year at Kelly would have been, the way he was developing would have been really good for him, but obviously decided to make that move and would have done it in his best interests. But made a real impact at Alloa as well when he was. I remember seeing him on loan there, and I was like, I would have put him on this list just off that. Last season goes into Kelly, makes an impact, playing in Europe and everything. I think that's all really good experience for him.
Celtic Parton stretched up.
I think it might be right. Yeah.
Which was great. I think it was an equaliser and kind of I thought that was the first game that I kind of really saw him, and it kind of excited me a wee bit there. So.
I was at that game. I wasn't bowled over by his contribution. He did score. He was sort of anticipated the sort of break, but it was a sort of kind of bundled.
He does seem like a player
hard,
that scores a lot of those goals though.
Yeah.
Like and he did that at Alloa where he's just in the right place at the right time. A natural at the age of 18 going into. I know it's League One obviously, but just having that instinct, I think that was really important. So yeah, I was glad to see him kick on and seems to have a bit of size about him as well. Can use his body well. So one to look out for. Swansea definitely. So that's my number 8. Your number 8 was
Daniel Cummins.
We've sort of covered a wee bit as well. I think quite similar older players. Fraser, you alright?
Oh, number 8 was Tyler Fletcher.
Tyler Fletcher. Had
to stick him on because he's got it's in the blood. Darren Fletcher's son, one of. Unfortunately, Jack Fletcher has not made my list because he's decided he's English, which is quite sad. Yeah. But Tyler Fletcher has decided he's Scottish, so that was good. Darren Fletcher managed to get in his head, obviously, and he's playing. I think he's captain Scotland youth teams. I think he captains Man United youth teams, and he's been in and around the first team training, and I think he for Man United's end of season tour. He was I think he travelled, and his brother didn't actually. So he looks like a good player. I think he's more defensively minded than Jack. Yeah. But that's good for Scotland. We've obviously got a lot of attack minded midfielders. So if we've got someone in the sort of mould of Darren Fletcher, who was brilliant for Scotland over the years, sort of under his guidance, he's getting advice from his dad, and playing that role, he could, hopefully in a few years' time, can maybe make the step up. If he can make the step up into Man United's first team, then make the step up.
We've seen a lot of young players getting chances around Man United's first team as well, maybe through necessity at times, exactly. But there seems to be a pathway there. So.
Yeah, exactly. Scott McTominay did it. Maybe Tyler Fletcher can do it. So he looks good from the clips that I've seen of him.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
And if you're getting, I know Man United they're not in a brilliant place right now, but they do have a good youth system and young players
and a record of always having young players involved with the first team as well. So.
Exactly. So with that, he's exciting for me, I think.
No, I like that a lot as well. That's
definitely
good use of the word exciting for him as a player, definitely. So that was number 8.
Number 8.
That was number 8. Because my number 7, it was Ryan One, who he came up for you guys.
So he's my number 7.
Your number 7 as well. Look, is he on your list? Is he?
Ryan One?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to come up. Okay.
Shame he's not our number 1.
Well, because it's kind of crazy. Well, I always remember the first time I saw him play. I'd seen him play a fair few times at Hamilton against Raith, and he was on the bench, and they didn't have the little like a inflection on. Accent. Sorry, of course. On his E, so he was on the team sheet as Ryan One, and I'm like, who is this Ryan One coming on here? And but he did come on. He was playing left wing at the time. But you're like 16 years old, but he just had the size of like a football player. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he looked so strong, and just had. If you're a scout, you'd be watching that and be like, he's got the tools for it, definitely. So kicked on at Sheffield United a little bit this last season. I think they just hired a new manager this very morning as well, Ruben Sellers. So
they're all talking about home boss.
Yeah, he's been around a few clubs, Ruben Sellers, but I don't know if he'll be part of the plans. Maybe a loan to a League One club, but certainly they trusted him because they've got good striking options there. Kiefer Moore and Ryan Brewster still, haven't they? So the fact that they was actually giving him some meaningful minutes at times as well. He was coming on in big games, at the top of the league. So obviously trust him. 18, and you guys have been impressed by him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
He's another one. He's got a bit of pace, bit of quality, technical ability. So get him hopefully fast tracked. He's had some minutes for Sheffield United. Probably for his career, a good thing that they stayed down. I think he's in and around the starting 11, but he's just not quite made that step yet. So hopefully this season, if he has a big pre-season, will develop a wee bit further, mature a little bit, and then hopefully he can have a bit of a run in the first team next season.
I think my one thing that just pulled me back from putting top 5, I put him pretty high obviously already, and I do think he's really good. It's just I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more end product at times. That's the only thing between him and some of the other young guys above him, but really good. Like I'd seen him for that same, it wasn't Scotland under 19s, it was Scotland under 21s with Lennon Miller where I saw him play, and he he wasn't too effective, didn't get too involved. I'm not going to judge him off one game, obviously, but also at Hamilton, it wasn't like he was, firing in the goals, anything like that. So just a little bit more end product numbers. They'll come. Obviously, he's only 18, and maybe, as I say, a loan spell to English League One could be really good for him if he's not going to be in the first team, because I think he's got goals in him because of just the size and power and a bit technical ability he's got as well. So I like that we have him in the same spot, Fraser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a lovely coincidence.
Yeah.
Luke's keeping us waiting. So who was your number 7?
Was it Bailey Rice?
Bailey Rice. He's coming up on mine as well. Is he on yours?
Not on mine.
Not made though. Not made it at all.
I think she's a good. I think she's just kind of started to break gradually into that Rangers team, which is quite nice. He started at Old Trafford in the European game, which I thought was quite a big thing for him.
Yeah.
He came from the same youth.
Lennon Miller.
As Lennon Miller.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting to see where they both are in this form of excitement. So. But I don't know if that was a
in this form of excitement.
No, I've got him to come up as well, so I've got. I'll give my thoughts on him as well in a second too. So, do you want to finish on 10 to 6 here? Because I think we've been rambling on for a while. Who's your guys' number 6?
I had Aidan Borland.
Aidan Borland. That's a bit of a different shout.
Yeah, he's just captained Villa to the FA Youth Cup.
Wow.
He signed an even bigger contract, I think, with Villa. Obviously was on the books at Celtic. Another example of, a Celtic or a Rangers youth player electing to go south with their careers. So far, so good, I think. I'm not sure if I'm correct in saying, but the last Scottish player to win the FA Youth Cup was probably Billy Gilmore. I think Billy Gilmore even captained Chelsea to that win as well. Aidan Borland's done the same.
So no pressure, son.
No pressure. Yeah, looks like he's probably going to be in the mould of a Callum McGregor.
Right.
And with Callum McGregor sort of coming to the end of his career now, a player like Aidan Borland coming in, and I think Scotland maybe have lacked someone like maybe since Callum McGregor's decided to retire from the national team. A player like that, Aidan Borland, good technical, sort of bustling midfielder with captaincy experience, and at the top end of English youth football as well is exciting. So
yep, definitely.
He's made it high up on my list because I think he's put in some good, really quite exciting performances for Villa of late.
Can definitely be a high ceiling being someone like Villa. Luke, your 6.
James Wilson.
I've got him a bit higher up. Is he to come on yours? Or?
Actually, he's the one that has somehow made it off my list. Oh. But that's an admin issue.
Oh, okay.
He was on my list.
Right.
So I'll do a bit of rejigging.
I've got him a bit higher up as well, so I'll come on to that in a sec. My number 6, I do want to touch on just before we move to top 5, was David Watson, which is a lot higher than you guys. I've put him there because I love that you've put him. Where was he on yours?
14th.
14th. He's not on Luke's list. He was Luke's almost 9, but he's not made the list. But he's my number 6 on there because he's just. This is where the personal terms of excitement come in. I love the type of player he is. I think well over 70 first team appearances for Kilmarnock already as well. Scored goals in there. I think he's scored about 9 goals for Kilmarnock as well in 70 games. But he's got that mould of player that I think is really exciting where he's a midfielder that makes late runs into the box, and that's probably my favourite type of football player there is. I don't know why, personally. I've always loved a player like that. And that's something that I don't think you can really just go out and find that easily. I think that's quite a rare trait. You can't really replace that too easily. And, he's had goals, he's scored overhead kicks, he scored at Celtic Park, making loads of late runs into the box again. I think he popped up at the back post when he got that goal against Celtic, and he's really capable of that, and that's the kind of player that I really enjoy watching. Kind of guy you can't really replace that easily. He was a bit in and out at Kilmarnock. That's the only disappointing thing. He's been stalled a bit, but I think I saw enough from him there. He could maybe do with a move, to be honest, somewhere where he will, be able to kick on his game a little bit more. But a player that I really like. So top 5.
Nice.
Let's move on.
Cool.
Take it away, Luke.
Cool. Number 5, I've got Ryan Roney. Number 4, I've got Calvin Ramsey. Number 3, I've got Max Johnson. Number 2, I've got Lennon Miller. And number 1, I've got Endok.
Okay, we'll see some similar here. So 5, I've gone for Bailey Rice, so a little bit higher. Okay. Not on your list at all, though. It's interesting. Number 4, I've gone for Johnson as well. You had him at 3, didn't you? So I have Johnson at 4. I've gone for Wilson at 3, James Wilson.
Oh,
I'm a big James Wilson fan. Number 2, Lionel Miller. Number 1, Ben Doak.
Lovely. Mine's very similar. I have Karamoko Dembele because...
Wait, hold on.
How old is he?
Yeah.
He's 22. Well, that was... I just chucked him in because I wanted to talk about him. However,
What a cheat, man. That's out of the rules.
No.
that's what I said. I told you. I warned you I was going to break
No.
However, I've just realised that James Wilson slipped off the list.
Oh, maybe it was a typo. You
Yeah.
tried to write James Wilson.
And then
Karamoko
also
Dembele.
corrected to Callum.
I hate when that happens.
So I'm
Similar
gonna
names.
scrub Karamoko Dembele, but I want it on record that I was gonna put him on because I love him so much, and Steve Clark will at some point try and call him up. Please. Steve.
Okay, so where's James Wilson?
So James Wilson's 5.
Oh, is that just natural?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
no, he was actually meant to be either top 5,
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
So that works out well. James Wilson
Not like
5.
my 9.
What's that?
Not like my 9.
No. He was. I swear he was on the list. Just admin issues. He's slipped off. So James Wilson 5, Calvin Ramsey 4, Max Johnson 3, Lennon Miller 2, and then of course
So top 2 is all the same.
Ben
Ben
Doak.
Doak.
Well, our
number
top
one,
3 is the same, actually.
Yeah, our top 3 is the same. Our top 4 is the same.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. So
Callum
I'm
just
I've
decided
gone
to be different.
I've gone awkward. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad putting Calvin Ramsey all the way down at 10 here because he was a player that I really liked at Aberdeen, and I'd say we did mention this really briefly. I was just interested to see like where he was. I wasn't sure if he was 21 still, but he still is. So he fits on the list. He feels like he's been around for a while,
Yeah.
but so
Criteria.
maybe I've been a bit unfair by putting him
I
that
don't
low.
think you
So-
have really. I think he could go at 4, but he also could have gone at 15. Like just with the way his career's gone.
Yeah.
But
So obviously a lot of promise at Aberdeen makes move to Liverpool. You superbly said before, you don't make a £6 million to Liverpool without being a good player, obviously.
Yeah.
So he's got something about him, but every loan spell he's had, it just feels like he's almost taking a step backwards each time. Was it Preston he was at?
Preston,
For 6
Wigan,
It was
Bolton.
at Preston for 6 months.
Wigan, I think.
Wigan, was it Wigan, not Paul? And then obviously Killeen. If you're not getting into the Kilmarnock first team at 21, a bit concerning.
I know it is concerning. I thought Kelly was not a brilliant move in the first place. I guess Derek McInnes, whether he knew Derek McInnes from
So
Aberdeen.
he worked with him
Yeah.
before, obviously.
He had. I just think I've seen him play. He's played for Scotland. He's got a huge ceiling. I think he's still exciting because it's his form that's worrying. It's not his class isn't because
Yeah, he's got the quality
class.
there still, yeah.
And that's why he's made it as high as he has for me. I think you're justified in putting him at 10.
Yeah.
You could justify putting him at 15, but I just think the ability that he's got. I think if you look at a player and you're thinking excitement, you think what can they do on their best day? And Calvin Ramsey on his best day arguably could be better than anyone on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not quite Ben Doak or Lennon Miller, but if he plays at his absolute top potential, then he could be a genuinely class player. So that's why I think I'm still holding out hope.
Yeah.
He's got it in the locker. It's
It's going to
hasn't
be
showed
interesting what he does next because if you're 21, obviously, as he is, he's not going to get in the Liverpool team realistically.
Yeah.
Because if you are, Liverpool have 21-year-olds that look at Conor Bradley for example. So he won't be there. But that's not to say he can't kick on. And what I did like about him at Aberdeen especially is that I think the reason Liverpool took him on is because he's a fullback that was playing, and he wasn't just playing because he was big and strong and could get through a game and defend and dig out a clean sheet. He was playing because he was technically fantastic, and made up. He's not the tallest or biggest and strongest, but he didn't look out of place at all. So Liverpool would have seen those qualities, and look, I'm sure they're still there. So that's why he was low on mine. Number 5, I put Bailey Rice. I was surprised he wasn't on your list at all. I agree with Luke. I like that he started at Old Trafford. Looked really good, and I would from his perspective of growing, I'd love to see Rangers just keep giving him opportunities because he looks really ready for it. He does look really ready for it. So, and as you say, he came through the same youth sort of team as Lionel Miller, and people were saying he was the one that, alongside Lionel Miller, and that's no slag on Lionel Miller, he was as good at it as him, if not better, according to some people. So, bags about him in at 18, starting for Rangers. I think that's really important, and hopefully he can keep kicking on. So I did put him a bit higher. Surprised they don't have him in there at all, Fraser. But
I know that's probably an oversight.
maybe a
really,
bit, because there's a
more
lot of
than
guys
anything,
that
but-
haven't played any football at all. You know that we could put in here, and I like the names you've put in as well. But for that reason,
If
he's
I'm being
getting-
honest, I've not actually really seen much of him.
yeah, I do like him. I like the attributes he's got. He's quite tenacious in there. He doesn't look afraid in midfield to snap in there a bit, but also has the quality which I like. You know, he was playing a bit, you know, in the deeper sort of midfield role too. So I like the look of him a lot. Number 4, I've gone for Max Johnson. You guys have put him at 3, but yeah, he looks like he's got all the attributes. I thought, albeit in a bit of a obviously miserable couple games of Scotland, especially that home game, I thought he had a couple moments where that set piece delivery, especially, was sensational. So I think he's got the attributes about him.
I think, I'm glad Steve Clark's obviously gone and thought we need to freshen it up. He's finally accepted that he's playing for, an Austrian Bundesliga winning team and a Champions League team as well. So thought it's about time that he starts him and has a look at him. And he looked good. So I'm quite excited to see where he goes.
Yeah, could have been my 3. There wasn't much between that. But I put James Wilson as a huge James Wilson fan. As far as our resident Jambos, knocked him a little bit down to number 6. But I think maybe earlier in the season he obviously came in, you know, like a flash, scoring in Edinburgh derbies and everything like that. Towards the end of the season, tailored off a little bit.
But he's still got the potential, I think.
But yeah, I mean, he's 18 years old. You know, I'd seen him play for the B team as well. He scored against, I think he scored against Braves. He did score against Braves earlier this season as well when I was there. And I was like, oh, he looks like he's got, you know, the size, the frame. He's quite a lanky sort of frame, isn't he? But he seems like he seems like an interesting guy as well when you see him get interviewed, like a calm, level head at the age of 18, you know, scoring, then coming back to school, you know, in Edinburgh derbies. It's kind of funny. So, I think there's a lot about him, and I was happy to put him 3, 5, 6. I guess he's sort of splitting hairs, some of these players here, but just the way he's came in and shown, he just looks like such a predator in the box. That's kind of the main thing about him, which I really think's that natural sort of play in a player. You can see what they naturally have, and he seems just to be a deadly finisher, ice in the veins.
That's what Hearts kind of need as well if like Shanklin's on his way out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens
with that. Just need a replacement for him. Obviously they've signed 2 strikers now, but I think James Robson will be still. I think he'll be quite a handy player to have about that.
Well, I just love that instinct he's got. Though I do think he's a finisher and could even grow into his body a little bit more as well, and you know, keep getting better technically. See him sort of range position, sort of out on the wing at times as well. Made a Scotland debut there. Probably shouldn't have done, but
Definitely
shouldn't have done. That. But if he's in the box, he will finish a chance. That's a guarantee. And I don't think there's a huge amount of Scotland players you can say that about. Any really like that have that real striker instinct. I don't know if you can name any Scotland strikers about that really have that sort of natural, sort of sniffing in the box, sort of thing to their game. So I think he's got that. And I think he's one that will kick on, and great for him getting so much first team exposure already as well. And
exactly,
hopefully he'll keep kicking on. Number 3, so Max Johnson for you guys, and then the top 2 is the same. I think Lennon Miller, Ben Doak. Do we need to say too much about them? They sort of speak for themselves, don't they? Yeah.
I don't think so. Lennon Miller is the sky's the limit for him. Really excited to see where he goes.
Yeah.
If he goes anywhere this summer.
It's pretty much confirmed he will go somewhere.
Is it confirmed?
Yeah, pretty much. He said goodbye to all the fans on his way out and stuff, didn't he? So last games.
I'm hoping. I don't know. I would like him to go to Celtic or Rangers just so that we can see more of him. I know we can. If he goes to a team like Udinese or.
I'd like to see him. I'm wanting an Italian team here.
I would love him to. Yeah, I want him to go to an exciting team like that. I don't.
Well, it's
Celtic only.
Sunderland he's linked with as well.
Sunderland worries me a little bit, but I like the fact that if they're going for him, they're going to splash the cash and they want to build their team around.
You'd want to make sure he's going in there. Obviously, they've sold Bellingham to Sunderland. If he went in there and I was like, it's your team.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what.
If I'm going to be honest, if you're chucking Lennon Miller in to be your starting centre mid in a Premier League team, they probably won't stay up. In my personal opinion, and that's no slag on him at all. But just how difficult the Premier League is.
Yeah, of course.
That's it. And I think you'll probably, as we've seen recently, is 3 promoted teams going up, coming straight back down. But
I think I have no issue with that, actually. I think he's Premier League quality.
I do.
If they put the right people around him. If they're going in sort of doing a Southampton or, it's sort of young players with the experience that he's got or similar players to him, then I think they'll get relegated.
I'd just be worried they'd get to like January and be like, we're in a bit of trouble here. Let's get James Milner on loan or something, you know what I mean? And then he's on the bench, and you're like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Because it's so important. He goes and he plays, and it plays the right way as well. And,
But I would rather. I would also, if he goes to Sunderland, I'll get to see more of him as well, because obviously I consume more Premier League. But I think,
I would like to I love just watching him play.
Bologna or something.
But
like
he's so confident, and what I loved about watching him play in the Scotland team, obviously, it was against a lower opposition, Luxembourg, but like the main thing is the players he's playing around. He's next to Billy Gilmore in midfield, and he's the one demanding the ball every single time. There was never once didn't want to get on the ball, which is so impressive. So really excited by him, and Ben Doak is. To be honest, Lennon Miller could push for number 1 as well. There's not too much between them. We've all gone for Ben Doak at 1. I'm not surprised at all, though, because he's sort of the definition of exciting. And looks like he could be moving this summer as well. There's been a lot of links.
Would love him too as well. Everton.
Everton would be an interesting one. Yeah.
Crystal Palace want him. Everton, I think we're looking at. That's an interesting one because he's crossing the.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Imagine Moise and Ben Doak.
Because
that would be quality.
His entries into the final third, that was incredible. Like, he's up there with more than anyone, really the most direct running. And even if he's not always getting goals and assists, he's always a menace and a danger. And he's going to add more and more goals and assists to his game, I'm sure. Yeah. So
if he sharpens up his end product,
stays on.
Bloody exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
he's a
all I'd
Champions
say.
League player for sure.
Yeah, unreal. So I think that's our top 15, boys.
That's it.
Some list, a lot of excitement.
Exactly. Yeah.
A bit of variation in there, a few similarities, a few omissions here and there, but
shall we get
similar?
A bit of input from producer Jack. Jack, who's your most exciting 15 out of the three of us?
Surprised to put Lennon Miller number 1, to be honest.
Hot take. He's upset that Ben Doak left Celtic, so that's our take.
Right. You're going to call it? Which 15 out of the three of us win? Most exciting?
Probably Callum, to be honest.
He's chose me.
Interesting.
Callum's list wins. Well, it wasn't a competition, but I like that we all had different ideas of what excited us as well. I was a bit more like players that we've seen at first team level. You're a bit more like higher ceilings, I think. Yeah. So I like that though. So right, we're going to take a quick cut and we're going to come back for producer corner.
Whoa.
Right, we're back and we've got a special guest on screen to my right.
Boom, boom, boom.
He's not a guest. He is not a guest. He's part of the furniture.
Oh, sorry, guest was the wrong word. Producer Jack. He's back. Round of applause, please. Woo!
Producer Jack.
Back to the orange mic. Here we are.
He loves it. Our favourite orange mic man. He is going to be giving us a special little segment here in Producer Corner. Just to break up.
Producer corner.
You even got a theme song?
Oh, I've got a theme song. I know. I feel very privileged here.
So, Jack, you've recovered from your goalkeeping performance.
I have, yes. Well, sort of.
Oh, you were fantastic. This guy
he really
unreal.
was fantastic. Like,
That's why we call him the GOAT.
That's what we do. I certainly do. Anyway, he wore that shirt of pride. So you've came in here today to give us a take, an opinion, what's it going to be, and we're going to debate it.
So I want you guys to tell me who do you think is going to go furthest in Europe from the Scottish clubs available? Because obviously everyone's going to say Celtic and Rangers, that's priority. But out of the other ones, Hibs, Dundee United and Aberdeen, who's going to go furthest in Europe?
Okay, now obviously producer Jack, he's a big Celtic fan, so that's taking a lot.
Exactly.
It's taking a lot. So outside of the Old Firm or Glasgow, what do we say these days?
I say Glasgow Derby.
Outside of the Glasgow Derby.
Depends who you work for.
Just like to put it on record that on this show, Celtic and Rangers do not take priority, Jack.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we're focusing the question on Hibs, Dundee United and Aberdeen, and I'm not going to say anything about Celtic.
He's more than aware. So, European paths were decided, weren't they, for the qualification. Who will the teams be facing, Jack?
So Hibs are playing Midtjylland, Dundee United are playing Unastrassen, and Aberdeen still to be decided, isn't it? Because they're in the playoffs.
They announced a friendly against Ipswich.
Ipswich, yeah, there you are.
That's exciting, isn't it? Yeah.
George Hurst versus...
That was one of my questions in my wee teaser that I wrote for Super Strawberry the other night. Who are Aberdeen playing in the pre-season friendly?
There you go. That answer Ipswich Town.
Half a minute as always. Right. So... Sorry, Luke. So Hibs Europa League. That's a tough draw.
It's a tough draw. Probably one of the hardest ones you can get on paper, I'd say.
And I do feel a bit bad for Hibs, who obviously did all the work to finish third and kind of got a bit shafted by Aberdeen winning the cup. Doesn't really get much more difficult than that. I'm sure they would have loved group stage football. Aberdeen, will be getting a much better opportunity for that, of course, because they took that spot. So Midtjylland, guys, I can't see Hibs getting past them, unfortunately.
No.
I don't. Too big a name though, but the Hibs are a big name, and yes, I know if you go off recent years, and by recent years, the last 2 decades, then Hibs shouldn't stand a chance. But like over 2 legs of. Forgive me, I would need to look at Michelin's form from last season, where they finished in the league. They're good. They're more of a development club than they are a consistently established club. So okay, they finished second in Denmark. Hibs on their day can beat Celtic.
They're a good team. They are a good team.
They were a thorn in the side of Celtic last season. On their day, they can beat Rangers. There's nothing to say that Hibs can't go and beat Michelin.
To be fair, I was watching some Michelins last night before heading up here, and obviously I'm not an expert at all by any stretch of the imagination, but I was watching about the last 5 games of the season highlights, and every goal they conceded was just a ball, play it out wide, get the ball in the box, like normally a low ball, and it's always normally resulting in a goal, and ironically most of their goals either came from range or just from a long throw.
Yeah.
To be fair, and down the wings is probably Hibs' most dangerous area with the Cadden brothers. So
and Hibs will go if they can keep Rocky Bashiri.
Next to Triantis would be huge if they get him back,
Triantis.
but obviously he's getting linked elsewhere.
They've got Jamie McGrath coming in.
Oh, he's a quality player, one of the best passers I've seen. I always remember that assist he gave Aberdeen for their fight back in the 2-each draw to Sockler. That's one of the best passes I've seen. If I was like, Hatate in the Celtic team or De Bruyne in the Premier League, could just be raving about it non-stop.
And if there was anyone that was happier than anyone to take away that European qualification from Hibs, it was Jamie McGrath. Celebrations after the Scottish Cup.
And his suit.
Yeah, I know, knee sliding and everything, wasn't he? So
Because he knew he was going to get a big game against Michelin and he was going to star in it. That's why he was celebrating. I don't know. Everyone's saying, and I saw actually there was Danish guys on Twitter tweeting that they were chuffed with the result. Obviously, Hibs was the best outcome for them based on the other options that they could have had. Hibs are a good side, and they play a big stadium, a full atmosphere. If they can just, I wouldn't be surprised if Hibs squeeze through this.
Well, see, we saw Killy against Copenhagen last season, wasn't it? Yeah. They won out of it completely.
Yeah.
It was
and Hibs are a better
game.
team than that Killy team, I think.
And Copenhagen ended up winning the league, so they've obviously got a shot. Making it competitive. I think if Hibs make it into the Europa Conference League group stage, though, one way or another, they've done a really good job. I think that would be good for them.
This is
Europa League.
This is Europa League, exactly.
If they drop down, there will be an unseeded team, and they could go up against one of the big leagues. And we saw them play against Aston Villa a few seasons ago, for example. So, I think it's against some of the odds.
Yeah, I think the issue here is, I think if you're looking at the 3 teams, Hibs, Dundee United, Aberdeen, who do I think has the tools to go further? Not looking at any paths or competitions or teams that come up against, I would back Hibs to go further. But it's just with the circumstances, it's difficult to say that because they have, they're coming in at the second qualifying round of the Europa League. They're already coming up against quality opposition, so it's difficult to say that. Whereas Aberdeen they're guaranteed. They've got conference group stage football for sure. I'm going to put my neck in the line here and say that I think Hibs finally Scottish football is going to have a bit more.
It would be great to see an extra team
from another team.
So we're back. Challenge time, Luke. As soon as you're done singing.
So I'm just really energetic.
He's never done singing. Right, we've got 3 challenges to come up. It's going to be very good. It's going to be exciting. Luke's excited. He's dancing already. Before Jack slipped off camera, where he's gone, I don't know where he's gone. He's gone off into the sunset. Oh, he's over there. I see him now. He left us a challenge.
Oh, it's time to play the game.
Exactly, and inside of this bit of paper, we have a challenge, boys. And I was saying, right, we're going to work. Usually, I'm quite often hosting these. I don't get to join in with the fun, so I'm going to join in this time. We're working as a team. Don't just shout out the answer if you know it. All right, that's what I was saying before. We're a team. All right. Take your time, be patient.
No.
And we're going to get through this together.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for the challenge?
Let's go.
Right. There have been 7 clubs to win a League times Challenge Cup double. I want you to name them.
Oh.
League and Challenge Cup double.
League and Challenge Cup. Right, I think I've got the first one.
In the one season?
A double. Yeah. I think the first one is Ross County.
That's won 18-19.
Yes, that was like Brian Graham led when they won the league and everything.
Wow.
So that's first.
Oh, league and challenge cup. I'm thinking
Championship.
League Cup and challenge cup. Oh, right.
Challenge
so,
Cup.
well, in
Championship.
that case, this season, there was a
The
team this
Sword,
season.
The Thunder.
No, Livingston won it, but they didn't win the league.
Oh, sorry, of course. Oh my God. That's
Who's won the Challenge Cup then? Obviously, looking down the years, did Rangers maybe do it? Do you want to punch Rangers in?
But let's punch it in. Rangers.
15-16.
Let's go on the Jers.
Right, who else would have won the... Dundee United won it. I don't know if that was the same year they won the league. Should I guess it?
Punch it in.
Dundee United?
Ah.
I see. Queen of the South.
What about Celtic?
Do you know what the Challenge Cup is?
Oh, the Challenge Cup. Oh, right, okay.
Are you in the room?
Oh, the
He won. He won the mentally challenged cup. This boy.
That's quite good. The Challenge Cup.
Right.
You said you were ready at the start of this. You didn't listen to a word of it.
Challenge Cup. Who else has won it, guys? Obviously, the
Queen of
Rovers.
South.
The Rovers have won it a couple of times. Queen of South won it?
They won the challenge cup. I was at
They've-
it.
Oh, well, they've not won the league, have they? So.
No.
Well, does it need to be? Is it championship? So it can be League One. They might have won League One.
Oh, a league.
Might have won League One. Then.
That's a shout. That's a shout. League One as well.
League
Do you
One
wanna-
in Queen of the South.
Do you want to guess
Queen
that?
of the South.
Yep.
Oh,
Some cool, by the way. Wow. What year was that?
2012-13.
2012-13.
I was there.
That was really good from you.
Front row at Almondvale actually.
To be fair, the Rovers, the year the Rovers won the league where it got cut short because of COVID, we also reached the final and we announced joint winners. So I don't know if that's going to count. I'm going to guess that, Jack.
Okay, that's a trick question.
Ah.
Wait, what season was that?
The COVID season where it cut short. We got to the final. The final was never played. We were announced joint winners with Inverness. And then we also won the league.
Who lifted the trophy?
No one.
Nobody
It
ever.
was so stupid, yeah. We
Oh,
never
that
played the
is
final.
stupid.
Oh, I'm quite proud of pulling that one out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I believe St Mirren won that as well. Was that the same season they won the league?
I'm sure it was actually. Aye.
Do it.
St Mirren.
Oh, Callum.
Doing some good stuff.
You're
Here.
doing some heavy lifting here.
How many have we got?
You got 5, but 2 more to go.
2 more to go, boys.
Oh.
This is good.
When was the Challenge Cup?
1990.
1990. Oh, jeez. Oh,
So
man.
it could be as far, but we're a bit stumped if that's the case.
Wait.
Falkirk.
Ah, I was going to say that. I was about to.
Yeah, they're the only team to do it twice, 93, 94 and 04, 05.
Oh.
I'm sure they're the most successful team in Challenge Cup history.
Well done.
Yeah. What an achievement.
Get that on the stands. So is there one more team? One more team. So Falkirk have done it twice. Fair play.
Dundee.
It seems like the type of team you'd
They're
guess.
Challenge Cup merchants in my head.
Do you want to guess Dundee? Dundee? No. It's worth a shot. Because Challenge Cup recent years, the Rovers have won it a few times. 3 times we've won it.
Was it?
Not
What year
one.
was that? John Baird won it at Easter Road.
2013-14, but
13.
didn't win the league.
Oh.
And we've guessed Raith already, so it doesn't really matter. I don't feel like... Because who else has won the league then? Obviously St Mirren, Ross County.
Thistle?
They won the league?
I don't know.
Aye.
They won the league, yeah.
Aye.
Did they win the league?
They've won League One and...
They won the Challenge Cup?
Aye.
I don't
they're
remember them
Portuguese,
winning
they're
the
the
Challenge
Portuguese.
Cup. But they...
Oh.
Nah, Dunfermline?
I don't think the Pars have done it.
Queen's Park. They got to no, they got to the final last season.
Nah,
Nah, not Queen's Park.
But it'll be like I was going to say if it's like a Welsh team or something like that.
Aye.
Ross County Colts also won the the development league. Oh, I'm not sure. We're getting a bit stumped. Could we get a year?
Yep, 2003, 2004 season.
We're going back here.
that's tough.
2003, 2004. Who would have won any idea who won the championship back then?
Dunfermline played in the SPL.
Do you want to guess Dunfermline?
I would go Dunfermline.
2003-4. Who would have been?
Thistle were playing in the SPL in 2004. Did you say 2003, 2004? They won. They were definitely playing either. So they must have won the league in 2000.
But they're not in the Premiership like the years before that.
I think they maybe were in the Premiership.
After winning.
Like 2002, 3. Whatever. I think they were.
After winning.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Who's United?
Nah.
Oh, we would have.
Yeah.
We would have worked that one out, pal.
Alright. Jeez.
I know for Air United,
Could it be like Gretna or something? Gretna?
No.
Ah, that's quite a good guess.
Can we go Partick Thistle?
No, we can't, mate. No, we can't.
It's correct, but you're not.
Oh, we're just going to end up guessing every single team in Scotland here. A bit worried.
No, we've got this. We've got 2003, 2004. So who would have won the leagues then?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Maybe it was. Nah. What year did Livy win the League Cup? It could be Livy.
That's what I was thinking.
We've not said Livy. And we were
No, what's going to be your first guess?
Yeah, but I was for all the wrong reasons. But it could be Livy.
Punch it in.
Livy.
No.
No.
Sounded good, didn't it?
Aye, sounds nice.
St Johnstone.
No, they've not been down that time.
What in 2000? Yeah, they were.
Were they?
2003, 2004. Yeah, they were. They've not been up in the Premiership all that time.
I thought they were like
Yeah, I thought that
90s.
If you want to punch it
Yeah,
in.
but they've definitely. I'm back in my day. You guys would have been
Back in my day.
Jeez.
St Johnstone.
No.
Oh, well done. Back in your day. Bloody hell. Oh, boys, we're fumbling
it
this
be?
last one. We'll absolutely flying before that.
We were. Let's think.
Is there any like northern teams?
Could it be Inverness Cali? No.
It's not a bit early for Inverness.
Aye.
Well, they were
Maybe.
94, 95. So when did they go? Could be Inverness Cali.
Inverness Cali?
Yes.
Yes! Never in doubt. When-
duh.
2003, 2004, Inverness Cali.
Aye.
Right, never in doubt on that one. That was a good challenge.
That was the championship.
So they did.
Yeah, that was around their time going up, wasn't it? Yeah, I was thinking around then, but good work, boys. We done well there.
Aye. Got none of them, but well done.
Hopefully, you had some good guesses.
Yep.
You look pretty.
Thanks, mate.
So that's
Celtic could have been right if
Right, okay.
they were in the Challenge Cup. They probably
Celtic
were.
and Air.
Right.
Oh, do the worst possible.
Right.
Not to worry. Right, what should we move on to next, boys? Which challenge?
The keep you up challenge.
I'm not
I've
doing
got a
it.
ball. I've got a ball in there.
Let's go.
Well, my God, right. I think you've got a challenge to host up next, Fraser.
I do. Yes.
Yeah. That's it. You can read
Yeah. No,
right off there. You know what's coming
Of
up.
course, I know what's coming
gonna
up.
be-
Callum and Luke, I want you to draft your ultimate Raith and Falkirk team.
It's a joke of you joker challenge.
Oh, I can't wait.
Right. Who's going to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors.
I think, in the matter of fairness, so this is going to be effectively a five-a-side team, right?
Yeah.
Fraser, you just put the mic down, relax. a bit.
Sorry, no, I just had to reject myself a bit there.
Oh, lovely. Bam's below this table, man. We actually all do this in our boxes. That's the crazy thing. No one will ever know.
Luke does it in his G-string.
Fans will never know. Right, this is kind of going to be... I don't want it to be a five-a-side team, so it could just be 5 players to build a team, the core of a team. Or do we do it as a five-a-side team?
Five-side team.
Okay, it's a five-a-side team with a goalkeeper.
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be a five-a-side team. Luke, I think whoever goes first should get the first pick, and then whoever goes second gets second and third, and then we'll just do 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, I like that.
Not snake after that.
No.
Okay, do you want to do rock, paper, scissors for
Yeah,
the first
let's
pick? Right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, I go first.
Nice.
Right, with the first pick, I'm going to go for the one and only John Baird.
Oh, nice. Lovely. Lovely.
Right, you get 2 and 3.
So first, I'm going to pick my goalkeeper and centre half.
Okay.
And I'm going with Jamie McDonald and Tom Lang.
Okay, a couple of good picks in there. Tom Lang, I don't know if he, too much of a 5 player.
I think he's just got that physical presence, you know. I think he's quite a big guy, you know.
Handsome man. And Jamie McDonald's a handsome man.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's not letting the ball trample under him in cup finals.
Oh, jeez.
Right, you've made a fundamental error here. Because up next, I'm going for the deadly duo here. I'm going for Brian Graham and John Baird. The newest player on the system. My team are scoring goals and goals and goals. Okay.
That's not true. That's fine. Next up, I'm going to pick my striker. I'm going for Declan McManus.
Ooh, you can have him. I think he was a bit more popular at Falkirk than he was at the Rovers. Yeah, he can score a goal. I might go for arguably the best player still on here.
Okay.
Oh, wait, at all. Best player on here. I'm going for Brad Spencer in midfield.
What about That's okay.
Whoa, he's a nice guy.
He's a lovely guy.
Why'd you call him a bam then?
I'm calling Callum a bam.
Just calling me a bam.
Next up, I'm actually going to go with...
There's a lot of players that have played for Falkirk and Raith. It's kind of
I know.
crazy, especially in recent years.
For like one of my midfielders, I'm going to go for Aidan Connolly.
Aidan Conley, okay.
I think you're a good fives player.
Good technical player, yeah.
Yeah, good on the ball.
Did your mum ask you to pick that one?
She didn't actually, no.
For the context, Luke's mum's a big Aidan Connolly fan.
Aidan Connolly fan club.
I'm a big Aidan Connolly fan. Queen's Park signing, good addition for them.
Yeah, I thought that, yeah.
But-
Really?
Yeah.
Did your mum have a hand in that?
Yes. No, but yeah, a really good player. One of my favourites at Raith down the years. But so my team, I do need a defender in there, and a defender that I really like. I kind of wouldn't have recalled immediately that he played for Falkirk. My defender's going to be Regan Tumulty.
I like that actually. That's right.
Thank you very much.
It was very popular at Falkirk in a short. I think 6 months he was there. And
Yeah,
very popular.
very popular at Raith as well.
Yep.
Technical, powerful. He's going in my defence.
Nice.
You've got one more pick, I think.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go with actually. This is going to be quite surprising. I'm going to go with James Cragen.
James Cragen, that's a good rogue shout, but I like it. Good technical player, wasn't he?
Yeah, I like him. Scored a wee overhead kick against Dundee United in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. He's bashed one in against Rangers for the Rovers as well. Memorable, but he did sign a pre-contract to join Falkirk when he was at Raith, so I'm not really over that. So you can have him. Don't want him anyway, mate. My final pick, I've been smart here and I've left my goalkeeper to last because who cares about the goalkeeper? But well, I say that.
Oh, cheers.
I've got a very good. Oh, sorry, Jack. My goalkeeper is going to be Robbie Thompson.
Nice. I was tempted, and on his day at Falkirk he was a great keeper, but I just don't think he never really got that chance because it was always Danny Rogers ahead of him.
Yeah.
But when he went to Raith, I felt like he kept on and kind of.
Yeah, well, he's still the goalkeeper coach there now as well. Nice guy and great shot stopper as well. He'll be solid for me in goal. No doubts about that.
Nice.
He knows all his fundamentals as a goalkeeper coach.
Very
So
good.
I think that's a good couple of teams. Fraser, you picking a winner in this?
I think yours just edges it, Callum.
I think the key that I'm shocked I got the two of them. I was worried I wouldn't. We get the newest man on this list, Brian Graham and John Baird. I think that's just two good goals.
Very clinical. Very nice.
As well as Spencer midfield. He might be a bit lightweight in the middle with Aidan Connolly.
Yeah, I think. Listen, look, you'll put up a good fight, but I think Callum's just.
But he's got the two men in midfield with Connolly and Cragen, which could give him a bit more balance in there. But I like my team.
I'm a fan of it too,
we're maybe not too defensive. Regan Tumulty, my only defender, but
You've got a good up and coming goalkeeper in Jamie McDowell.
Oh yeah, sure.
good young.
Yeah.
yeah, he's doing some good stuff there. I've heard. So.
Looking forward to see where his career goes, but
Yeah.
I think Callum just edges it. Sorry, look.
No, not at all. It's all down to opinions.
It's all down to opinions.
Well done, Callum.
I got the first pick, John Baird. That won it for me.
I think so.
What a player! Right.
Now living down under.
Oh, he is living down under. Yeah. He's doing some good stuff down there. And a club legend at the Rovers. So 2 spells. Love the guy. Right. Let's move on. One more challenge, Luke. You're going to host this one, pal.
Right, so our next challenge is going to be first to name a player. Oh, I'm just like that.
You go again, pal.
Yeah. So I want you.
Just read that right there.
Yeah. So first to name a player to have played for these 2 club wins.
Okay. So Fraser, we're going to have a countdown. Whoever names a player that's played for both these clubs. You ready for it? Luke's going to do the countdown.
You asked me to put together a list of 15 randoms SPFL clubs, so I did. Went random, and now I'm regretting it.
It's funny because
I don't know how many players I know.
if people want to see behind the curtain here as well, me and Fraser did an attempt at this once before, and then every time Luke counted down, we're like, I can't think of a club, and it was really embarrassing. So
It's hard. It is hard
it is.
actually.
So hopefully we've got enough this time, and hopefully someone's going to actually win this time. So it's going to be first to 3. Right, best of luck.
Yeah.
Get ready to get taken down,
Oh,
pal.
we handshake. This is nice.
Well, thank you. You look taken aback. Right, look, you've got the important job of doing the countdown.
Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So ready.
Sure. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Rangers.
And an athletic.
It's got to be a Loney or something.
Tommy Goss.
No, he started Queen of the South.
Yeah, sorry, I knew this was going to be it.
Annan, man, that's such a
I know.
wild shout.
It
It was a Queen of the South before.
was it Sean Goss I was thinking of at Rangers?
Yeah.
No, they both had a Goss, but not that one. No, we might need to take a
sorry.
no, I'll pass on that one. That's a tough one.
I'll go for my next team.
Did Willie Gibson come through Rangers or anything?
There's a chance, actually. There is a chance.
Willie Gibson.
There will be.
100%.
That looks like a Rangers kit if ever I saw one there. Nah.
Just a random
Keep that
guess.
up, though, 'cause this is a good list. This is helpful.
Ooh.
Okay.
Annan and Rangers.
Can you look that up on transfer mark?
What's that? Annan and Rangers.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one for you actually.
Do you?
Have you?
I do here.
Who have you got?
Fire away.
Cammy Bell.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, he's from down at Annan.
That's a good one. That's a phenomenal shout.
Yeah.
Cammy Bell.
But
I mean, Luke gets the point effectively there.
Yeah. There.
Yeah, fair play. No senior appearances, but we'll give
You'll
you
give
that.
it to you, yeah. But right,
Good
we'll go
shout.
for the next one then.
Sorry about that. This is
No, I
did
don't
go
mind. I
random.
don't mind.
Yes, 1-0.
Team number 2.
Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Celtic. Calvin Miller.
I'll so get this. Oh,
Not
must be quite a few.
Not
for
that
now.
up.
Right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Great South.
Josh Ray.
God.
Oh, I know that from having a discussion with him 2 days ago about his time at Queen of the South. Didn't realise he was in goal for the cup final. We won 3-1.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realise until he told me.
Can you think of any other players? Because I'm stumped.
Queen of the South and Raith. Kai Kennedy.
Good shout. Phenomenal shout. Yeah. Fair enough.
Right, 1-1.
Yeah.
That's actually 1-1-1.
So, like,
3, 2, 1, go.
Montrose.
Hearts. Craig Whiten.
That's phenomenal ball knowledge.
Yes.
That's really good.
Very good. Why did I think of Harry Cochrane when that was mentioned? But he didn't play for
No, he's not
Played
much.
for Queens.
Queen of the South.
Yeah, true. Yeah, nice. Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Dundee.
Aberdeen. Luke McGowan. No.
Dundee Aberdeen. What the heck? Why?
Cammy Kerr. No.
I've actually got one as well, again.
Oh, then my goodness, there must be
So
so many.
shocking to say.
Was it Aberdeen?
Yeah, it was, I'm sure, yeah.
Like, I better keep thinking whilst he's looking.
Yeah, did you?
Oh, I started Aberdeen, of course. Good shout. I don't know why I was stumped by that one for a
Can I give
second.
you-
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Of course, mate.
Scott Bain.
Really?
Yeah. Started in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's a good shout. I don't know why I couldn't think of any Dundee players for a second. I was like, why is Luke McCallum the only Dundee player I've ever heard of in my life?
Very good.
2 each.
Good stuff.
Yep. Nice.
Nice.
Ready?
Also, winner takes it all.
Are we
First to 3.
all first to 3?
Or do you want to do first to 5?
I've got 15 teams here, Callum.
We'll do first to 5 if you want. We'll do first to 5.
Yeah, first to 5.
First to 5, right.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
When winner takes it all.
Right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Livingston.
Cali. Inverness Cali. Andrew Shinney. Nah.
Actually, man, you might not be.
Inverness Cali and what was the other team again?
Livingston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good shout, mate. Good shout. 3-2.
First to 3. It was first to 3.
How was it? I? Right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, stop
Yeah,
doing
come
that,
on,
Luke. You're
man.
counting down. I
Sorry,
don't know why you're doing this, man.
sorry.
I don't know how you want me
Yeah.
to. Because we need a slower countdown so people watching at home can join in.
Okay. 3, 2.
No, do it properly. Do it properly. Just do it properly.
Right. Luke, ready.
3, 2, 1. go.
Stenhouse Muir.
Airdrie. That is tough.
Ooh.
Oh, tasty.
No, there definitely has to be.
Stenny and I mean they're
think
loose strap.
Mark Russell.
No.
Mark Russell never stay.
Mark Russell's in defender, Mark Russell.
I don't know.
Neither. Oh, Ian Russell.
Okay, well.
Oh my goodness. Got to dig into the old Airdrie. It's quite a tough one, that, eh?
That is a tough one. Sorry about that.
Annan and Rangers. Look at that youth career.
Airdrie and
No.
Stenny. Sorry,
Annan and Rangers, though, in one youth career. That could have ticked off the first one perfectly.
I'm stumped.
Airdrie and Stenny. Oh, I'll just have a think for one more second.
Okay.
I was thinking Ian Russell, yeah. Mark Russell. Right,
Irish Sea.
we'll keep this snappy. We'll move on.
Yeah, sorry about
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
that.
Aberdeen.
Oh my god. I need to get my.
I'll skip.
Arbroath.
Aberdeen and Arbroath.
Ryndow.
Country. Fact checker.
I think he was Aberdeen, wasn't he? No.
No. What we're going for? It's Aberdeen and Arbroath.
Surely somebody there.
Yeah, there must be. Oh my goodness. So many names spinning in my head.
There must be.
Aberdeen and Arbroath.
Let me do a wee bit of research on my phone so it doesn't come up in.
Sorry, I've picked some tough teams.
No, you're okay. Right, I think we're passing.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Got any?
Chris Hamilton, I think.
Right, can we move on?
Yep.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Raith
Celtic.
Rovers.
Regan Hendry. 3-all. Right,
3, 2, 1.
Partick
Mirren.
Thistle. Oh my goodness.
This is an easy one as well.
That should be easy.
And Jim Goodwin?
I think so.
What was it?
St Mirren and Thistle. He didn't play for Thistle, did he? Jim Goodwin?
Richard Taylor? No.
No, mate.
No.
Why is this so hard?
St Mirren. Like Brian Graham never did. Richard Foster didn't. Right, I think we'll pass that one.
Yeah, me too.
Should have been when we get there. I feel like.
Yeah,
Probably
that-
gonna go home and think of 100, mate. Right,
3, 2, 1.
Hibs.
Dundee United.
Hey, Dylan Levitt.
Nice.
4-3. Is that 4-3? Oh my goodness.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
Dunfermline.
Oh, I've got one.
I don't know if he was Kane Ritchie Hosler. Was he Celtic? Kane Ritchie Hosler.
Is that? Wow. Fair enough.
Right, I'm running out of teams. We're on 4-all. Right, ready?
3, 2, 1.
Cove
Dundee.
Rangers. Paul McGowan.
Ding, ding, ding.
What a comeback. 5-4. Fraser, well played, man.
You deserve that. I think you deserve that.
There's some good shouts in there. That was close. That was well competed.
Tight.
That was a difficult challenge.
Why have you just dropped your mic as well?
I know. proper,
So close yet so far.
proper mic dropping, he's out here.
Finishing up. Well, boys, it's been a couple weeks off, but it's been good to be back. Joga
that
Bonito.
done?
That's us.
Complete?
Yeah,
Joga Bonito is finito.
pretty much.
Not yet.
Finishing off.
Yeah, we've got.
Joga Bonito is finishing off.
So yeah, we are well into post-season activities. I think in the upcoming weeks, the League Cup's on quicker than you'd expect.
Yep.
That's coming up soon, so we'll probably look ahead to that. I think we should have a look at every single division in a little bit more detail coming up in the next few weeks. There's plenty to be excited for, boys. You looking forward to it all?
I am.
Hopefully.
First on my agenda was Wimbledon.
First on your agenda is
agendas
to go home and cry about Kilmarnock's latest signings.
Yeah.
So
George Stanger, man, what are you thinking? I thought he was, at least if he'd gone to Gillingham, you know, I think fair enough. He's away down for a new chapter in England. What's he doing? Up the M74 to Kelly.
up to the big team.
The big
So-
team in Ayrshire.
Fraser's so excited. He's even wearing blue. So
Excuse me.
Hey.
This is my Very United retro top.
Oh.
It's a beauty, is it not? No.
it is nice. It is a nice shirt.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
yeah.
George Stanger will never get near this. Let me tell you.
Oh.
dead to me.
Oh.
Can't believe he's done that to me.
I'm sorry to hear,
Can't
mate.
believe you've done this.
I need to go and reply to my cousin now. I don't know what I'm going to say to his text that just simply says George Stanger.
Oh, we've got lame dick, mate. We're fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
What
You've
dick,
got Sean one.
We've got one dick, yeah.
yeah, dick one. Whatever way around it'll be.
Yeah.
Some
yeah.
partnership.
Mad.
It's going to be great. Right. And the 15th most exciting young player in Scottish football, Dylan Wattrip.
Yeah,
What a
exactly.
player. So,
And
yeah.
the 16th Lenny Agbear, although he's not
Lenny
actually
Agbear.
there. But
I'm sorry to hear that. Right, it's been a pleasure again, boys.
Pleasure as
it
always.
has been, yeah.
So plenty to look forward to in the coming weeks. So stay subscribed, stay locked in, and thanks for watching as ever.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
Don't go changing.
Thank you for watching.
Joga Bonito.
Es finito.
Yeah!
That's so bad, by the way. We need to change that.
Do you think? Are you serious?
No, keep it in.